welcome to another episode of Adventuring in Solo RPGing. So I'm just starting up. I'm just setting up a new game, uh, using the Aftermath rule set as an inspiration point to use with my own system. So I'm just going to go through my setup, what I have set up so far. So usually I'll get my cards laid out. So I have one deck, and I'm using the Game Master's Assistant deck. And this deck is specifically designed for science fiction games. And then I have a deck here that's for my combat. And what happens is, like, I'll be just using my dice to make rolls and stuff, but every combat round, the first combat round, I'll draw one of these cards that I designed that will just change the course for that round, just make things a little bit more interesting and not so samey and just dice rolling all the time. And then another deck here for NPC reactions. So like their first roll, like the dice are designated for specific actions, but I also use these cards just to make things different. This deck is my event deck. I've designed these. Each card has a different outcome. Sometimes to benefit the party, or add a bit more complications and challenges. This, for example, is a surge card, which will improve my chances for attacks or defenses. This deck here is a character deck, so I'll add these as the story progresses for different NPCs or enemies that will come into play. Here's my I start my games on the chaos track at number 5, and this is just to show what the state and progress of the game is at right now. If things are leaning towards a positive vibe or a negative vibe, 5 is standard, and also will state how many cards are going to go into the event deck on top of the characters, and that will be shuffled. That's card represents player 1, so that's automatically in the deck. Here are these mats. Is just a quick display of what characters are in the game at the moment. Player 1 is level 1. My health is at 6. My attack dice that I can use for any attacks is 2 to start with. My defense is 2, and this dice just shows me what character's in play at the moment. And this pad's going to be for the enemies that come into play. This pad shows what state I'm in at the moment. So there'll be 6 rounds to a scene, 6 scenes to an act, and 6 acts. By the time I get to the 6th act, the game will be finished. This dice here will represent the plot progress. And so when it hits to 6, depending on the state of the chaos track, if it's positive, then a positive plot element is triggered. If the chaos track is negative, then a negative aspect is triggered. This mat is the action mat, so I'm using these 3 dice. Green is automatically played. Red represents what the opposition does, and the yellow dice represents my second action that I can take. But these 2 dice can only be triggered on a yes roll, or they're ignored on a negative roll. Okay, so I'm going to set up the story. I'm going to show you this software that I've been using. It's really cool. It's called PUM, Plot Unfolding Machine Solo Playing Software. I'll just show you it in a moment. Oh, so there's a couple more things I almost forgot to mention to you on this game mat. I have these cubes that represent my resources, and that's kind of like rations or food or things that can give me energy through the play. But I can spend these to improve my surge. So on a surge roll for my player character, if I spend 2 of these, I get a surge. But only NPCs can add to the resource pool. They can't spend these for surges. When an enemy rolls a surge, they get an automatic surge that would be represented by a black cube. Character surges are represented by an orange cube, and they come into effect during the course of play. So over here, I have this is my map setup, and yeah, I'm just using these geomorphs. I'm just using these cubes to represent my character. Over here, some pads that I use to just represent what's going on through the game for plot progressions and the goals that I'm going to meet. So, in this situation, I'm just starting the game. I'm not even sure what direction I'm going in, but from what I can imagine, that this character woke up as being an android or a humanoid of some sort, wakes up in a warehouse, and he was unaware of the apocalypse. He leaves the warehouse and goes out, and he's looking for society. He's looking for his makers. So his plot progresses on a positive situation. Could be he finds a path that could like help him find a location for where there's a community. On a negative plot prog, um, it could be an encounter. And it's kind of like this is just like up to me. I have to think about, and it's really cool to just exercise my creative aspect to the game, so it's not just like a board game. So here on my computer, using this software called the Pume Companion. It's like amazing. It's like kind of like a VTT for solo role playing games. It's totally specifically designed for solo playing. On the one side here, we have an oracle, and like so, I can like hit this button, and it'll give me a result. Like if I want to ask it a yes or no question. Plus, there's like all these different. Like I'm just starting to use this, and I'm still finding new things about it. It's just incredible. I really highly recommend it. I'll put a link to it in the description for this video. In the middle is an exposition, and it just you can just type in what actions are happening, um, and just like this story progress. And here are the characters that are involved in the game. There's like a spot for the game master. So when I go into the exposition, I type or I click this, and I can write who is saying whose actions happening. When I hit the game master, I just like write down in the notes of descriptive text and results of players' actions. And this is my character that I'm going to be playing with in this game. So Aftermath is a post-apocalyptic game. And this character, like I actually use this software to help develop this character too. Like I'm using my system, but for developing the background, I just used like all the oracles to come up with a background, and this is what I got. They aren't exactly a person, and the description looks romantic and loving. So from out of that, to decipher that, I was going to say that this character is like a humanoid. He's not really human. He was designed to be like a pleasure bot for like Vegas casino or something, in before the apocalypse. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And yeah, this character sheet's really cool. You can design, you can put any kind of information in it. I think you can even upload a PDF. So I just like wrote in my own things and put a picture of the character. And you can keep adding to it too. You can add your information about your enemies or NPCs, whatever. And here's you write up all this stuff before you actually play, and it's like just plot beats and things that can happen throughout the game. Just different objectives and goals you might want to accomplish. So yeah, now I think I'm going to be ready to play. So now I'm at round 1, scene 1, act 1. My character, so I look at the event deck. I draw the first card, and it says a surge. Things are just at 5 right now, so nothing really plays until the chaos track's in a positive or negative state. But I'm still going to roll to see if that's activated, just so it can adjust the chaos track. So I rolled a negative, so it's no, it doesn't move. Oh, actually, no, a negative, sorry about that. A negative adjusts the chaos track -1. So I'm at 4 right now. Roll, draw another card, and it's my player 1. His turn. I roll the action dice. The first roll is the feat, and that represents any action I want to take. I could walk or attack or use an item or something. It's up to me. And that instantly plays. Since there's no enemy in the event stack yet, if I roll this explosion, a red explosion, that just means that I'll draw like an event card if that's triggered. And if this is triggered, that means a special ability. So, oh yeah, like on my character sheet, made this little card that represents my character. This is also on the Pume companion too, same stuff. My special abilities are charismatic and physical enhancements. So I just think if I'm in a situation, I can make a skill check that, say if I wanted to talk somebody down or calm somebody, I can use my charismatic special ability to calm a situation down. Any skills checks that I meet, then that's an experience for me that I'm using these fate markers to represent experience. If I collect 10 of these, then I can increase a stat or increase my level. My second ability is physical enhancement. So as a first level character, I usually start my characters off with attack dice and defense dice at 1. But since I'm physically enhanced, I'm going to start off my attack dice and my defense dice at 2. And I can change these during the course of the game if I collect enough experience. Okay, next turn. So yeah, it's my character's turn. He's got an action he can do. He's just going to walk. So I go to my map. Oh, and I've rolled to see how far I can walk. I always use a 6-sided die. I can go 3 spaces. So I'm in a movement phase with my character. I can move 3 spaces. I can kind of see that there's like a pool of water there, so I'm going to go investigate that. I can go 3. 1, 2, 3. And I put on these cubes too, an arrow that shows what direction my character's facing. Any movement, any change to that counts as a movement. So if I was moving from here, 1, and I wanted to change my direction, that would be 2 and 3. But I'm going towards the water. 1, 2, 3. So my next movement, I could turn that around or go even further forward. Okay, the other action was an explosion, red explosion. I'll see if that's activated. And I rolled a blank, so nothing happens. And with that dice, the yellow explosion, that represents that I could use a special ability. And I'll see if that's activated. No, it's negative, so my chaos track goes down to 3. Roll, draw another card. It's another surge opportunity, but I rolled a blank. Draw another card, and it's a possible event. That means I'm gonna, if I draw a card that says possible event, that means I can draw an event card if this is triggered. Positive, it's triggered. I draw an event card. Now these cards have a lot of information on them. I'm primarily just concerned about the middle part here, and they're just like trigger words. Like, so this card says move, artificial, or time. I'm going to go with move because that could that's the most suitable right now. This is really, I just use these cards to act as a guide or something to do to decipher, to add to the role-playing aspect of the game. So I'm going to move. I can move 2. So I rolled a 2. 1, 2. And there's some vegetation here, and I'm right at the edge of that pond. Another card draw. Another event card draw. Let's see if it's activated. Now I've rolled a blank. A card draw, and it's another event card. And it's activated. My progress goes up to 5. Draw another one of these cards. Oh yeah, when I start my deck out with 30 of these cards, of the Game Master Assistant cards, or depending on like any game that I'm using, sometimes I have different Oracle cards, but I start with like a 30 cards to the deck. But once I've run out of these cards, that means the game is over too. And then I look at to see if I've accomplished any of my goals or whatnot. So this card says hot, eternal, underling. I'm going to say that the best thing that could go with the situation now is hot, and I wonder if the heat is stressing me. So I'm going to make a skill check for that. I'm at 5, so I'm going to grab 5 6-sided dice white, and then a green dice, and I'm just one green dice because I'm at level 1. I add that to my roll. Any rolls of 6 are a success, but a roll of 1 will negate that 6. But nothing beats, I know this sounds really complicated, but it's actually a lot of fun for me. I like this. If I roll a 6 on a green dice, it would need a green 1 to defeat that 6. So I roll. I got 3 1s that are white, and 1 6 that's in green. So the 3 1s can't beat this 6. So I actually passed that skill check. I reward myself with a fake cube or button or whatever. And so the heat doesn't affect me at all. And I'm out of cards for the round. And I'm going to draw another round. I'm going to set up another event deck. But I look at the round, so I'm going into round 2 now. It's not enough to change anything, but does the plot go progress? And I rolled a dice, yes. So I've rolled a yes, so the plot dice goes up to 2 now. I'm getting closer to something either positive or negative. I'm at 5 right now, so nothing bad could really happen. So my chaos deck is at 5, so I'm going to grab 5 more cards from my event stack. Add my character that's in play. Shuffle them up. And I'm ready for round 2. So I played through a couple of rounds just to speed things up, and I don't have to show you like all the steps that I took to get to I'm now at round 5 because they would just be boring. But so far, my character Ian, I've named him Ian. He found some old tire tracks from where he was at from that pool, and he followed them, and they lead south. And this marker here represent an encampment. He's found a fenced-in encampment. He sees like there's many people working inside. There's like small gardens that they're tending, and there's two guard towers at the entrance, and they're not letting him in. But on the ground, he found a notebook that has gardening tips and instructions, and he's planning on using that for barter to be able to come in. And he's trying to be nice and use his charismatic skills to sway them in. So I've gotten to a new round, and I still have this eat die. That means I have to use a resource, but now I've spent, like, now that I'm on I should update this. Sorry. Since I don't have any resources, it's going to now go into my surges. So I'm losing a surge because I'm out of resources. So in round two, scene two, I've drawn a event card.
Oh, that's neat.
Um, and it says travel. So I'm going to assume that's going to mean that they're going to take me out for a supply run. So in the supply run, I'm joined by three of the survivors. So I'm going to add three NPCs to my deck, and I'm going to add them to the player mat. They're all going to be level 1 because they're just average guys. Their health, one's at 5, another's at 5, and another's at 5. Their attack die, I'm going to say they're armed, but with just handcrafted weapons. So their attack die actually will be 2. So the attack die, yeah, like when I first set up a character, it starts at 1 because they're just using their fists. And but if they have a simple weapon, it goes up 1. If it's a special kind of weapon or an automatic weapon, maybe I'll put their attack die to 3. We're all wearing studded armor. They're just average people, so like with no armor, it's at 1. But with some armor, we'll put it up to 2. And now we're about to leave the encampment and go for a supply run. So even non-playing characters get special abilities, and I've made just a simple list, just random to decide what kind of special abilities each one of them is going to have. The first NPC, his name is Bob. His special ability is stealth. So if there's an enemy, he can steal a resource. After a skill check. NPC 2, his name is Erwin. And his special ability is tech. So he can figure out or fix technology. NPC 3, his name is Jacob. His special ability is double attack. So he's pretty quick. And so when he does an attack roll on after a successful skill check, he can roll 4 attack dice. So another card that I've drawn in my event deck is a shuffle card, and what that does is that I can, like, any cards that I've drawn from the event stack, I can put back into the deck and shuffle up. That'll prolong the game because, like, once this deck is empty, and I've played all these cards, the game is over. So it's good to draw those shuffle decks and have them activated to keep the game rolling. So another thing that comes up in my event deck, I've drawn a found an item card, and for the most part that just gives me another resource. Then I roll the die to see if it was something interesting, and then off camera I've rolled a yes. So I'm checking this book out. It's really cool. It's just like a book of random tables. Highly recommended. This one's pretty much based for fantasy, but I'll use it for this game. I mean, it's a post-apocalyptic world, so kind of still falls in that fantasy genre a bit. So I look at the items. 36. Need to make a 100 dice check. So I found some armor. What kind of armor did I find? Studded leather. So I guess I've been working pretty good. So they've the people at the encampment have gifted me some studded leather armor. They've primarily just given it to me just in case if I have to leave the encampment when they do resource journeys out of the encampment, just to see if they can find any supply runs. So that's going to increase my defense to 3 now. Oh yeah, so another thing that happens is I'm moving into a new round in a new scene. I rolled to see if the plot progresses, and it did, and it's at 6 now. So I've actually triggered a positive thing that happens in the plot. And in the plot was that I set up before was to find a path.
These are harder for me.
Sorry about that. That to find a path to the encampment, and I already did find the encampment. So since I got to the plot, and that was kind of like a goal, so I can reward myself with 1 fate. And the chaos track is now at 9, so I'm adding 9 cards. And I'm going to make a new plot progression for a positive outcome, and that will be to gain the trust from the survivors at this encampment. So now I've made it to round 6. The scene increases to scene 2. It's still raining. I still need to eat, so I remove a resource. And now I got my chaos track is at 6, so I've added 6 cards to my event round deck, and my playing character is the only one in the scene right now. I mean, even though he's met up with the encampment people, he's talking to security guards at the tower, but they don't really count as NPCs right now, like actual playing NPCs. So I draw a card. Depending on the state, I can get a surge. So let's see if I can activate it. No. Location interaction. Maybe I can use this card if it's activated to do a skill check to talk the guards into letting me in. Nope. So it's my playing character's turn. I've rolled a brain. For my second shot, there'd be another brain. And for the outside situations, it's an explosion, which means like there could be an event. So I see you're going to use that to spend 2 resources to build up a surge. I'll see if this dice is activated so I can get an event. Yes. Chaos track goes up 1. Draw an event card. Oh wait, not from there, from here. It says bad weather. So roll this dice again, see if it's if we have any bad, if that rain gets worse. No, it's just same old rain. But I should check to see if, because it's acid, let's see if it's making any effect on my character. So what I'm going to do is make a skill check on it. So my chaos track is at 7, so I grab 7 dice plus my level, and I need 6. There's a 6. Oh, 1 green and a 1 white, so that negates the 6, and that actually sets me back, and I failed. So I'm actually getting damage now from the acid rain. Let's roll to see how much damage they take. 4 points. 2, 4. Maybe the guards will feel sorry for me because they can see that the rain's having an effect on my skin. So I'm going to see if this die is activatable and see if I can get another resource. No. Draw another card. Event card. Yes. Right from here. So actually I made a mistake there. I'm actually, to draw an event, I'm drawing from the Game Master's Assistance deck. So seal, rural, or obstacle. I'm going to go with rural and see, and since I'm still in the positive on the chaos track, maybe I have a chance to use this to do a skill check to see if I can use my charisma to get my way in. I'm going to tell them that I have this gardening book. 6. Yep. So it was a 6 green. There's no dice that can beat it. And they're happy that I have this book. I'm going to give them the book. And it gets me inside the encampment. So I'm going to get an experience for that because it was a positive outcome with my skill check. Draw another card. Surge. Yes. Gain a surge. Event. See if the event is actionable. Yes, there's another event. Imitate, bygone, agreement. Maybe agreement could come into play. They'll tend to my wounds if I help out and lend some labor, some help in their gardening or something. And that's the end of round 6. And I'll be back and do another update on the course of the game. So here I've updated the map and my plot progs and my goals to the situation that's at hand right now. We're leaving the encampment. I'm joined by 3 NPCs. The plot prog is to I'm still have to gain my trust with the survivors, and I have to find supplies. On a negative prog, we'll have an encounter. My new goal now is a supply run and find supplies.
Recapping today's session, Ian the humanoid android woke up to a post-apocalyptic world. He searches the wasteland for his makers. He finds a community and wishes to gain their trust so he can join them and help. They are reluctant at first, but he gifts them with a gardening book he has found. Soon after working with them during the day, they take him out for a supply run, which will be the next chapter in this Aftermath game. Until next time, please stay tuned.